I'm about to reveal something that may surprise you. A cooking oil that has been widely promoted as heart healthy and that many people switch to in an effort to eat better may, over time, and especially for those over 50, contribute to low-level inflammation, subtle yet harmful changes in blood lipids, and increased strain on the cardiovascular system. Effects that are slow, cumulative, and easily missed because the oil is sold under a trusted health narrative. You are not alone if you followed that advice. I have spoken with many patients in their mid-50s and older who made the same swap, believing they were protecting their hearts, only to see gradual rises in blood pressure, new patterns on cholesterol panels, unexplained fatigue, or breathlessness that felt like normal aging but were later linked, in part, to dietary choices that encourage oxidative stress and unfavorable lipid chemistry when used regularly and at cooking temperatures. And these effects can interact with common age-related factors such as reduced antioxidant defenses, multiple routine medications, and existing arterial plaque, so that a small daily cooking habit can, over months and years, become a measurable contributor to cardiovascular risk and reduced resilience. Stay with me, and I will calmly explain what this oil does inside the body, why its effects matter more as we age, the specific test results and symptoms to watch for, simple, practical kitchen swaps that make sense for a 55-plus lifestyle, one easy question you can ask your clinician tonight to see if this change matters for you, precise phrasing you can use when you speak with a doctor or pharmacist, pantry choices that are safe for gentle cooking, and those that should be reserved for cold dressings rather than high-heat cooking. A simple self-check you can use over the next few weeks to see whether your energy or breathlessness improves with this small change and feel safer and healthier. Not imagining this. And more importantly, this is not your fault. If you've been trying to make healthier choices, switching oils, reading labels, avoiding foods you were told were harmful, you are already ahead of many people. But here is the truth. Nutrition advice has changed over the years. What was once called healthy is now being questioned as new research emerges, especially for adults over 55. I hear this concern almost every day. Patients tell me, "Doctor, I thought I was doing the right thing." And the reality is, you were. The issue was never effort or discipline. The issue was incomplete information. As we age, our bodies begin processing fats differently. Our arteries become more sensitive, our metabolism slows slightly, and small daily habits start to have a much bigger impact than they did in our 30s or 40s. My name is Dr. Andrew Bennett. I'm a board-certified cardiologist with more than 22 years of clinical experience. Over the course of my career, I've reviewed thousands of patient cases, studying how everyday dietary habits affect heart health in adults over 50. And I began noticing a pattern. Many of my patients believed they were eating heart-safe foods, using oils marketed as healthy, yet their cardiovascular risk was quietly increasing. So in the next few minutes, I want to walk you through something important. What this so-called healthy oil actually does inside your body, why it becomes more harmful as we age, and the early warning signs most people completely miss until serious heart problems begin developing. Once you understand this, the way you look at your kitchen and your health may change forever. People miss, and the simple, safer alternatives you can start using immediately, some of which may surprise you. Before we go any further, I want to make this interactive for just a moment. If you believe you deserve clear, honest health information, not confusing labels or outdated advice, type the words, "I deserve the truth," in the comments. It may seem simple, but that small action helps more people like you find this information and take control of their health. And if you're someone over 55 who wants practical, straightforward guidance to protect your heart, without extreme diets or complicated rules, consider subscribing. You'll be joining a community of people who are focused on staying strong, independent, and informed as they age. Now, here's what we're going to uncover together. First, I'm going to explain what actually happens inside your body when you cook with this oil, especially at high temperatures, and why the damage is not immediate but builds quietly over time. Second, we'll look at why this oil becomes more problematic after the age of 50, when your arteries, metabolism, and inflammatory response begin to change in ways most people are never told about. Third, and this is the part that surprises most people, I'll show you the specific warning signs your body may already be giving you, signs that are often dismissed as just getting older. And finally, I'll give you simple, realistic alternatives you can start using right away. No drastic changes, just smarter swaps that support your heart instead of silently working against it. Stay with me, because what we're about to cover could change one of the most common habits in your daily routine. Let's begin with number 5, and this one may already be part of your daily routine without you realizing it. 5. The high heat breakdown problem. When this so-called healthy oil is exposed to high cooking temperatures, like frying, sautéing, or even repeated reheating, it begins to break down at a chemical level. And when that happens, it forms compounds that your body does not handle well, especially as you get older. Here's what's important to understand. Many of these oils are rich in what we call polyunsaturated fats. On paper, that sounds beneficial, but these fats are highly unstable when heated. When they are exposed to heat, light, and air, they can oxidize, meaning they react with oxygen and form oxidized lipids. And this is where the concern begins. Research published in journals like Free Radical Biology and Medicine has shown that oxidized oils can increase inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. Over time, this contributes to damage inside the blood vessels, making them less flexible and more prone to plaque buildup. Now, if you are in your 30s, your body may compensate for this more easily, but after 50, your natural antioxidant defenses are lower, and your blood vessels are more sensitive to this kind of damage. I've seen patients who cook with these oils every single day, thinking they are doing the right thing, yet they show early signs of vascular stiffness and elevated inflammatory markers. What can you do instead? Use oils that are more stable under heat. Options like olive oil for medium heat or avocado oil for higher temperatures are far less likely to break down into harmful compounds. And a simple tip: avoid reusing cooking oil. Once it has been heated, its structure has already changed. Now, this is just the beginning, because the next one is even more surprising, especially if you've been trying to eat light or reduce saturated fat. Now let's move to number 4, and this is where many people are unintentionally misled. 4. The heart-healthy label illusion. Many of these oils are marketed as heart-healthy, cholesterol-friendly, or light, and over the years, this messaging has been repeated so often that it feels like fact. But here's the problem. Those labels are often based on very narrow measurements, like lowering LDL cholesterol in isolation, without looking at the full picture of heart health, especially in adults over 55. Because your heart health is not just about cholesterol numbers. It's also about inflammation, oxidation, blood vessel flexibility, and how your body responds to fats over time. Some of these oils may slightly lower LDL on paper, but at the same time, they can increase oxidative stress, especially when used frequently and heated. And that combination, low-grade inflammation plus oxidative damage, is one of the key drivers of arterial aging. I've had patients come in with good cholesterol numbers, yet their arteries told a very different story. Imaging tests showed early plaque buildup and stiffness, despite them following what they believed was a heart-healthy diet. That's why relying on labels alone can be misleading. As we age, your body becomes less forgiving. What matters is not just what a product claims, but how it behaves inside your body over years of daily use. So what should you focus on instead? Look beyond the label and consider how the oil is processed and how stable it is during cooking. Choose oils that are minimally processed, more stable under heat, less prone to oxidation. For example, extra virgin olive oil used gently or avocado oil for higher heat cooking are generally better choices for long-term heart support. And remember, simple, whole food fats used in moderation are often far safer than heavily processed, light alternatives. Now, the next one is something almost no one talks about, and it has to do with how this oil affects your body even when you're not cooking with it. Now let's move to number 3, and this is something most people never connect. 3. The hidden inflammation trigger. Even when you are not overheating this oil, even when you are using it correctly, it may still be quietly fueling inflammation inside your body. Here's why. Many of these commonly used oils are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, your body does need some omega-6. The problem is balance. Years ago, the natural balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fats in the diet was close to 1:1. Today, for many people, especially in Western diets, that ratio can be 15:1 or even higher. And that imbalance matters, because excess omega-6 intake has been linked to the production of pro-inflammatory compounds in the body. Over time, this can contribute to chronic, low-grade inflammation, the kind that doesn't cause immediate symptoms but slowly affects your blood vessels, joints, and overall cardiovascular health. Studies published in journals like the Journal of Nutrition have shown that diets high in omega-6 relative to omega-3 may be associated with increased markers of inflammation, particularly in older adults. Now here's what I see in real life. Patients come in with aching joints, mild fatigue, rising blood pressure, or just a general feeling that something is off. Nothing dramatic, nothing urgent, but when we look closer, their diet is heavily weighted toward these oils, used in cooking, salad dressings, packaged foods, and over time, it adds up. So what can you do? You don't need to eliminate fats, you need to rebalance them. Reduce frequent use of highly processed seed oils. Increase sources of omega-3s like fatty fish. Use more balanced fats like olive oil in moderation. This isn't about restriction. It's about restoring balance your body recognizes and works well with, especially after 55. And now, we're getting closer to the most important points, because the next one directly affects your blood vessels in a way that many people never feel until it becomes serious. Now let's move to number 2, and this is where things become more serious, because this effect often happens silently without clear warning. 2. The artery stiffening effect. One of the most important factors in heart health, especially after 55, is something called arterial flexibility. When you were younger, your arteries were naturally more elastic. They expanded and relaxed easily with each heartbeat, helping your blood flow smoothly and keeping your blood pressure stable. But as we age, those arteries begin to stiffen. That process is gradual, and certain habits can either slow it down or speed it up. And this is where these oils come into the picture. When oxidized fats and inflammatory compounds circulate in the bloodstream over time, they can begin to affect the inner lining of your arteries, known as the endothelium. This delicate layer plays a key role in controlling blood flow and maintaining vascular health. Research in cardiovascular journals has shown that ongoing exposure to these compounds can reduce the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that helps your blood vessels relax. Less nitric oxide means blood vessels don't expand as easily. Blood pressure begins to rise. The heart has to work harder to push blood through. And here's the challenge. You usually don't feel this happening. There's no pain, no immediate symptom, just gradual changes, slightly higher blood pressure readings, a bit less stamina when walking, maybe feeling more tired than usual. I've seen patients who believed everything was fine because they felt okay, yet their vascular age was significantly higher than their actual age. So what helps protect your arteries? Using more stable, less inflammatory fats, reducing repeated exposure to overheated oils, supporting nitric oxide naturally through diet, like leafy greens, beets, staying physically active even with simple daily walks. Small changes, done consistently, can make a meaningful difference here. Now, the final one, number 1, is the most important of all, because this is the oil many people use every single day, believing it is the safest choice. Now let's come to number 1, the one I see most often in everyday kitchens. 1. Refined seed oils used daily. I'm talking about oils like soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, and canola oil, especially the highly refined versions that are used for frying, baking, and even labeled as all-purpose or heart-friendly. These oils are everywhere. They're in home kitchens, restaurants, packaged foods, salad dressings, often used multiple times a day without a second thought. The concern is not just one single use, it's the frequency and long-term exposure. These oils go through intensive industrial processing, including high heat, chemical extraction, and deodorization. By the time they reach your kitchen, their natural structure has already been altered. And when you heat them again during cooking, that damage can increase. Over time, regular consumption, especially in heated forms, can contribute to increased oxidative stress, imbalance in fatty acids, gradual strain on blood vessels. And remember, after 55, your body is simply less resilient to these repeated small stresses. I've had patients who used these oils daily for years, thinking they were making the safest choice, yet showed patterns of inflammation and early cardiovascular changes that improved once we adjusted these habits. So what should you do moving forward? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be more intentional. Reduce reliance on highly refined seed oils. Use extra virgin olive oil for light to medium cooking. Use avocado oil when higher heat is needed. Keep cooking simple. Lower heat when possible. Focus on whole, less processed ingredients. These are small shifts, but they add up over time. Your simple action plan. Here's how to put everything together in a way that's easy to follow. Check the oils you currently use at home. Limit high-heat cooking with unstable oils. Choose more stable, minimally processed options. Add more omega-3 rich foods during the week. Pay attention to how your body feels over time. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one adjustment and build from there. Your heart is incredibly resilient. Even after years of certain habits, it can respond positively to better choices. You're not too late. You're not stuck. You now have clearer information, and that puts you in a strong position to make decisions that truly support your health. Take it one step at a time. Stay consistent. And remember, small daily choices often create the biggest long-term results. I want to leave you with something simple but important. Your body is not working against you. It's responding to what you give it every single day. And even small changes, especially after 55, can create meaningful improvements in how your heart functions and how you feel overall. You don't need extreme diets. You don't need complicated routines. You just need clear information and consistent, simple actions. By becoming more aware of something as everyday as the oil you cook with, you've already taken a powerful step toward protecting your heart. And remember, this is not about fear. It's about control. If you found this helpful, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future guidance designed specifically for adults who want to stay strong and independent as they age. And please share this with someone you care about, a friend, a partner, or a family member, because small information like this can make a big difference over time. You now understand what to look for, what to adjust, and how to make better choices moving forward. That puts you ahead of where you were just a few minutes ago. Take your time, make one change at a time, and trust that your body will respond. Stay steady, stay informed, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Medical disclaimer. The information presented in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, this content should not replace guidance from your physician or qualified healthcare provider. Always consult your doctor or a licensed medical professional before making any changes to your diet, medications, or lifestyle, especially if you have existing health conditions such as heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, or are taking prescribed medications. Individual health needs vary, and what works for one person may not be appropriate for another. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you have seen or heard in this content. If you experience any concerning symptoms, seek medical attention promptly. By watching this video, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own health decisions.